so excited to have you here and get to share my favorite makeup with you. I have some new products today that I've barely been sampling, as well as tried and true products that I literally will buy on repeat. So let's get straight into it. One disclaimer is that I have been on this low-tox journey for a while now. I feel like sometimes I get really into it, sometimes I get out of it, and my stipulations with low-tox products is I don't want to know that they're low-tox. I do want to read the ingredient label and approve of it, but if there's obvious signs like the performance of the product is off or anything like that, then I simply do not want to use it. Like, I want these products to be so good. They perform just like products you would get at Sephora, and no one would be sitting here thinking like, oh, okay, like I have to sacrifice how quick the sunscreen blends in for the fact that it's completely mineral based and doesn't have, you know, the chemicals that you should be avoiding in sunscreens in it, you know? I want all the things. So each product I'm kind of going to give my stipulations, what I'm looking for, and then I'm going to give my recommendations. So number one is sunscreen. As you can see, this sunscreen is beautiful. It blends in so quickly, so seamlessly. I have people of all different skin tones try this and they've loved it. And things that I like about it, it doesn't leave a crazy residue on your skin. And I'm not meaning like an effortless glow. I mean like there's not a crazy residue. It's not like all day you're feeling it and you're thinking like that's an insane residue, an insane film on my skin that I can't knock. It does well underneath makeup. So if you're gonna do a full face of makeup or just a little bit of makeup like I'm gonna do today, this is gonna perform well. It blends in really quickly. And by really quickly, I mean like all sunscreens take a little bit of time to blend in, but I notice like the more mineral based they are, they take a little bit more time. By the way, this is the Centella Air Fit Sunscreen Light SPF 30. So if you look up Skin 1004 and look for the one sunscreen and you look for the one with the brown cap, this is going to be the one. This one is SPF 30 PA+++. That's what I like about it. My goal is always to get to an SPF 50, but I just found that like the ones in the 30 range perform so much better and it's worth it to me. This is my last day, I think, being able to use this. Usually I would use a little bit more, but I don't think anything's coming out and I would immediately repurchase this. And I got mine just through their carrier on Amazon. Anyway, it's wonderful. It does not give me acne, does not break me out, does not give me skin sensitivity, doesn't burn my eyes, and it does not smell like sunscreen. Those are the things that I love about it. Okay, so let's get into my next technique, my trick, my favorite bronzer. This is so funny because I have done so many videos going back and forth about these two Saie bronzers. So this is the Saie Sun Melt Bronzer, and this is in the color Fair Bronze. The reason that I'm telling you the colors is because I am an extremely cool toned person, okay? You, my friend, you may not be. So if you're not, do not take my recommendations on the colors, but if you are, then you know. And this is their Dew Bronze in the color Salt. Both of these are incredible formulations. Originally, the Butter Bronzer was my favorite, and then I didn't like the Dew Bronze, but I was determined to keep using it. As time has gone on, I now love the Dew Bronze, and I also like the Butter Bronze. So I'm going to show you how to use both of them today and their different qualities. So one thing that you'll see about the Sun Melt is that when you like swatch it, it has almost like a white tone, like there's a color pigment underneath it. It's actually kind of hard to see because this is such a good like color match for me, but this has more of like a pigmented base. The best bronzers are for cool tone are gonna actually be more of a contour. You don't actually want like a bronzer. It's gonna clash with your face. Now also if they are a clear base instead of like a color base. So you'll see with the Dew Bronze, this one is a little bit more like clear base, okay? Here, I'll show you. You can also see the color of this one's just, see how when you blend it out, it's like a little bit more on the clear side rather than like a pigmented base. What that's gonna do is help to not emphasize texture on your skin. And texture, on one hand, you could think of like acne, pores, whatever. On the other hand, you're thinking like wrinkles. So a lot of people with like acne scars, they're always thinking about texture, right? Like if you have heavy acne on your cheeks, it's very important that you don't get these like chalky looking bronzers that you most typically you find them in like a stick form. You want to look for something that's a little bit more liquidy because it's gonna emphasize texture less, okay? Same with like a powder is usually gonna emphasize texture, or layering of them is gonna emphasize texture. So more of like a clear base is definitely gonna help hide that, but it goes the same for like wrinkles and other like fine lines and things like that that you're thinking on the face. Even pores and pore size and density, when I watch how some people apply, I'm like, oh, that's just not the right product for your skin. So I'm gonna show you how I use these products. So number one, this might be a new technique for you of like bronzer placement, and I'm gonna do the bronzer first so that you can get an idea of like how much of a difference this is gonna make for your face. So you're gonna go, and you see this little pocket that forms right here. And you can see it's like kind of in line, like you can already see the shadowing of my bone here. Like I have really strong bones, right? Some people don't. And one of the issues that you have is like you can see this harsh bronzer on the side of their face. Today I'm going to show you how you can get that luminescent glow all across your entire face. So one thing you could do to help this, if your face already is like round, more plump, this is going to complement you really well. Or if you have like a really bony face and you find that makeup just like almost emphasizes too much or doesn't blend into your skin, this is what you're gonna wanna do. So I'm starting with this Say Star Glow. You could do this, you can use a luminized sunscreen, you can use like a highlighter, but you just want some sort of glow on your skin. Even if you use like an essence or a toner or like a peptide glazing milk, something like that, where it's gonna give your skin some sort of light reflection. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for like highlighter, you're not looking for insane color, but see how the light like bounces and reflects off of my skin. That's gonna make it look so much dewier, and again, it's gonna deflect from texture. And like I said, that can come in so many forms: wrinkles, acne, whatever. Okay, so now we're glowing. This is a great product, by the way. I love this product. Then we're gonna go so you're gonna do a little dot and then like flick upwards, okay? Then you need a little brush to blend this in. This is the brush that I have. This is what it looks like. You can see like the density in it and everything. Perfect. And then you're gonna take it and you're gonna blend it upwards and around in a circle, like blending it out and up in this direction, around your cheek. I hope you could see this. Downwards even, which is crazy. I honestly like get nervous to do that part every time. Around the cheekbone this way. Blend it out and diffuse it to where you can't see. I feel like I could have used like half as much product, but you know what? Here we are, you live and you learn. But you see how now, look at the difference on the two sides of my face. I'm honestly so excited to watch this back and see if you guys can see what I'm seeing. Look at the difference on the two sides of my face. I should have put nothing on the other side. But also you see how from the side, you can't directly see that there is product there, or where I applied it. Like obviously you watched the illusion, so now you can like kind of tell. This is really good for round faces as well because it emphasizes just like on their cheeks, whereas some people are just trying to make a shadow where there's simply not one. So from the front, even though it might look good, from the side, it's freaking insane. It looks cuckoo crazy. Okay. This side looks so much better. Okay. I used the right amount of product. I'm actually gonna like get crazy and go like this and kind of try to get some of it off. Okay, great. Then I'm gonna show you how the Sun Melt Bronzer looks in general because I'm also eating this up. I love this product. For this, I just tap a little bit. As you can see, I'm hitting pan on this as well. Like these products are literally almost gone, and you know what's crazy? Immediate repurchase. I'm not gonna be doing any research. I would just repurchase these again. So I'm gonna put this like kind of where my cheekbones are, in that same direction. And usually that's how I do it. I just keep my cheeks like that, which I always thought that was so funny, but now it's worth it. I'm gonna do a little bit on my nose and a little bit on my forehead, just on the very edges. And I'm also gonna take it straight from my eyeball up. This is how I did it yesterday, and I thought this was really cute. So you can do just like the smallest amount on your eye like this. Okay. And then drag that straight out and up And now you can see the difference in performance between the Sun Melt Bronzer and the Dew Bronze. Both of these products are great. They don't give me acne. They just sit beautifully. I love, love, love. This one blends in the best. This one looks like skin. So if you're looking for like a harsh, really harsh bronzer, it's kind of gonna give like a reflective. Like when you move your head, you're not gonna be able to see the bronze as strongly. I do think this one's a little bit harder to use, but if you use this technique where you're just doing it around the bottom, seamless. I love how this one, like, I can use way too much product or not enough and I can blend it in so seamlessly. It's very beginner friendly. And one of the things is that I'm so fair and the color just complements so well. Okay, so now let's get into blush. Since I learned this new bronzer technique, I'm still working on my blush placement, but nothing to judge. Let's just get into it. So I just use a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna do it where I regularly do it, which is like up here, higher on my cheekbones. Like when you look at your face, I can see where the light is reflecting, and it's in between that bronzer pocket and the light reflecting. Then I take just a little blender brush and do like a circle. That's the thing about pigment, is like sometimes you just need to keep it almost like saturated in one central zone instead of like spreading it out too much. Now for me, I don't have super oily skin, so products stay well on my face. I don't set any of this with powder, but if I did want it to last for like a 16-hour day, kids touching my face, all that, I would set it with just a translucent powder, and I know that it would stay. Usually, even if I'm gonna have a 16-hour day, this is how I go, and I don't like do anything additional about it. Okay, I think this is looking so cute. So let's do eyebrows next, maybe. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, not all the products are going to be Say, but these first 3 are. And again, like if I ran out of this product today, I think I've tried 16 different low-tox blushes at this point. This one is my favorite and I can't stop coming back to it. This is the Say Dew Blush in the color Baby. And again, if you're a cool toned girl, like, this is the best of the best. Did you see the color? Do you see how the color's playing with my face? Like, that's what makes it incredible. My eyebrow product is not low tox. I haven't found a low tox product that has stayed in my arsenal like over time, and I haven't wanted to replace. So I'm just gonna do my brows without you watching. Okay, now let's get into under eyes. I feel like under eyes are such an important part of the look for me because, as you can tell, that's like one of the most prominent things on my face right now. Like, until I cover them, they really draw the eye. They are quite, like, they make my eyes look really kind of like pressed in, that sort of thing. So I'm actually gonna try something new today. Hold on. Okay, I bet you guessed it, another Say product. This is the Pink Glow. This is the Glow Sculpt. This is like more of like a glowy blush. Like, think of like a blush topper where you put it kind of like on the top and it combines your blush with a highlight, like a really natural glow. Or like some people's blush kind of hits this zone and then the highlight is more down here, especially on like rounder faces. I don't have a round face, but still, I love using this product. A lot of times I use it underneath my eyes as like a color corrector and glow, because like I said, if you add just a glow on this, your dark circles are gonna look so much lighter. So I'm kind of gonna try to show you how to do that today on like the outer darkness of my eyes, and then the inner darkness we're just gonna use my absolute favorite concealer that I have never had to repurchase because I've had it for like over a year and I use it every day. But the second I run out, I will be repurchasing. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and then I'm gonna put it on this outer corner of my eyes. I will say this hasn't really formulated well to pair with my, hold on. This, I feel like you can hear that. Hello. I am filming a makeup tutorial, so unless if you wanna listen, I can call you back in just like 5 minutes.
Sure. I was literally calling to see what are you up to, so.
Yeah. Okay.
That's great.
Okay. Bye. Sorry. Okay. This isn't really formulated super well. I find that it doesn't perform well underneath my concealer. It kind of messes up my concealer a little bit. So just trying to find a good balance of like how to use it and also use it for this good concealer. Like, do you see, look at it already? Like, this looks so good. And it looks so like like you would have a hard time detecting exactly where the makeup is on my face. You know what I'm saying? So I don't always do this, but like I said, I'm really showing out for you today. And I'm gonna put a little just where my brow naturally is highlighted. So you see how like as I'm moving my face, you can see that natural highlight already. I'm just gonna emphasize that. We're gonna use this for one more thing, and it's gonna be on the tops of our cheeks. You can already see mine are glowing because like I said, we started with that glowy base. Like things are just looking good. This is really good for people who have textured skin, who have wrinkles, because it's going to emphasize like the beauty in your skin. And I will say this whole entire routine looks best when you have a good foundation of like good skin already. And I don't mean that your skin has to be perfect. I mean that like your skin is hydrated, it's nourished. If you have that like retinol flaky skin, sis, we're gonna have to do something before you start this routine, you know? So just keeping that in mind, like even if you already have oily skin, some of these products aren't gonna be, you're gonna not wanna apply them the same. Like I wouldn't do this step if you have oily skin, because I feel like the natural oils in your face are already going to add this like beautiful glow and hue to your skin, whereas like my face isn't really gonna add that throughout the day. And lately I've been getting into putting it on my nose again. I don't know what it is. Somebody stop me, but I won't be stopped. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how to do the concealer. Okay, so this is my favorite concealer, and I'm gonna tell you like this is how I've been applying it lately, but I've been using this concealer for like over a year. I still haven't ran out of it. I've now just decided I need to buy it in two colors that have like a fall and winter color and a summer color. There's so many things I love about it. One, this is hydrating, it's nourishing, it lasts all day, it doesn't give me skin irritation. I also think the price is 100% worth it just because of how long it's lasted me, how little I need to use to get the coverage that I want. This is great for people who have like really wrinkly under eyes, because the smallest bit makes the most dramatic difference. You know, if you need a concealer that you really have to cake on when you have wrinkly under eyes, like that is going to just emphasize texture and you're gonna look crazy. There's so many ways I like to apply this: with my finger, with a brush, with a blender. Like this concealer is limitless, and it's also good for not just under your eyes, but like concealing. Like if you need to spot conceal and then just blend it out, it stays all day. I have just normal skin. I don't have oily, I don't have super dry. Sometimes it just changes throughout the seasons. Like obviously in the winter it's more dry, but the way I can just blend out a pimple like this and then just like leave it and it will set right there and it's undetectable, especially because the color range of this concealer specifically, their undertones are fabulous. I see them matching so many people. That is really the trick, is like I went in I think 3 different times to get color matched for this, and that's what set it off, was that I got the perfect color. So no matter how I apply it, if I apply it with a heavy hand or a light hand, it's always just gonna blend so seamlessly with the undertone of my skin. So anyway, today I'm gonna show you how to just apply it to the inner corners, because obviously I did like the glow on the outer corners and I only have so much darkness underneath my eyes. And lately I've been trying to kind of avoid like the wrinkly area in the middle and just like set it. But one of my favorite things to do if you have wrinkly under eyes, which we kind of all like, you know, throughout the day they get wrinkly, but what I do is I do my makeup and I press it in, and you can press it with your finger, and sometimes I press it with my finger and I blend it out with a brush, just because like if you're trying to really get your money's worth out of makeup, right, blending it with your fingers is always going to use the least amount of makeup, because your fingers literally don't pick up anything. They're not going to pick up the pigment, they're not going to like diffuse it or hide it at all. So I blend it out with my fingers and I get that pigment really saturated, and then on the edges I'll take the brush and I'll kind of diffuse it and, you know, blend it into my skin, okay? And then I'll let it set. So you could do this as the first step of your makeup or later, but then after I've done everything, maybe even 30 minutes later, sometimes I'll do this like right before I pull into like work or something. Like say I'm doing it in the morning, then I drive there, it's like 15 minutes, and I pull in, then I'll notice that it has wrinkled, and then I'll set it a second time with my finger going like this, and that will be the final stay. But you have to give that product time to kind of like settle into those fine lines, or you can like take the brush and kind of blend it out. That's what you want to do. And I find that it stays like that all day long. It won't wrinkle in for a second time. So anyway, let me show you how I'm going to do it today, trying to avoid the wrinkling underneath my eyes and see how natural we can get it to look. So what I've been doing lately, you can see my darkness is kind of like from here down. So I usually blend it into like right here, but no further up. So I'm just going to do 1 dot higher up and 1 dot lower down. And the reason for that is that I have a defined line right here where my eyes look more sunken in. So if I pull the makeup directly to that line, it will give this illusion that like it's, you know, depth wise they're at 2 different depths. So what I'm trying to do is use the color of the concealer to press into that line and kind of diffuse. I also really recommend, and I can show you guys this in another video because I love doing this, but I recommend using a darker concealer. If you have really dark and sunken in eyes already, if you use a darker concealer, it's gonna stop reflecting the light and it's gonna blend in that like the like your occipital bone, I think is what this is called, to your under eyes. And it's gonna make it look less obvious that your eyes are so sunken in. I know everybody says like brighten your under eyes and do this light, but if you do that, it's gonna counteract your natural coloring, and it's just totally different. And I urge you to try it. You just want it to basically look like your skin, but just be like a tinge darker to like just your skin tone. I think if you could get something that perfectly matches your skin tone, that's always like the best of the best, but you know how sometimes like the color is just not perfect, so you have to do anything. That's what you wanna do. Okay, so I'm just going to show you with the finger method today so that you have an idea if you wanted to do that. Although my go-to every day, because it's fast and it's so easy, is just to use the brush. So with the finger method, I always pull a little bit down right here because like I said, I have that really strong bone right there, and it does make my eyes kind of like sink into my face. It looks like, you know, I don't have a lot of fat on my face, kind of distracting from that. Okay, so then I'm just gonna go like that. Do you see? Do you see how that ate it up? Do you see how that ate it up? Look at my under eyes. Like, you would not know where we started. You wouldn't know where we started. Okay, I'm gonna do the other eye with the brush just because I feel like you could see the more precise placement. So I'm gonna go right over to this, where I have the darkness. And one of the things, like if you angle your head down and then look like into the mirror straight up, it's gonna smooth out your under eyes without having to be like doing all this, especially like wrinkling, older, aging under eyes. Yeah, it's for real. So, yeah, get into your facial position. Okay, so do your little triangle. This is what's gonna blend it and make it look like less obvious. Bring it down your nose, and then do a little, I hope you guys can see this really well. And see how before the discoloration in the middle of my eyes here looked like, oh my gosh, she's not just gonna cover that whole thing. I'm not. Because that's where we're gonna get lost in the sauce. So again, like if you're gonna grab it, touch your fit and move this way, because you don't want to be adding product into that middle zone where you do have the wrinkling. Because like I said, it's going to hold well under wrinkles, but the more you can avoid them, the less obvious, because like right now you can't tell that I have product on the face. Like you could obviously tell like my face looks enhanced, but it's hard to clock exactly where it is. If you see product wrinkling into, getting into those fine lines, it's going to be obvious how much product and where you place it and all that. So anyway, if you were having, oops, sorry. Sometimes I do a second coat, sometimes I don't. And it will depend on how long I'm wearing the makeup. Like if I was gonna be wearing this makeup through like midnight, I'm for sure going in with a second coat right now because I see how it could be slightly enhanced, but I already know I'm not wearing this product much longer. I do have a small little pimple right here. I don't get pimples very often, but I want to show you the performance of this product. So I'm just gonna do like what's left on my brush. Do you see that? And like hit the other side just to, that's kind of the thing about pimples is like, if they're right close to your lips, you turn them into lip liner. If it's big and obvious and lifted, you turn it into a mole. Like you really need to learn your face like that and not be afraid to send it with these good techniques. Okay, anyway, I can't stop raving about this concealer, and I cannot tell you guys, like I'm a makeup lover through and through. One of the hardest things for me going low tox was just the idea that like I was gonna have to compromise on really good products. Like I remember even toothpaste back in the day when you were converting to low tox toothpaste, you would get it, it would be gritty, it'd be not minty, it would be like everything you didn't want. They were trying to convince us that like powders were great, and trust me, they were not. It would like make a mess on your counter. Like everything was awful about the products, and I remember being like, I don't know if I can commit to this. And when I tell you, out of like necessity, I have so much sensitivity to so many different concealers across the board, like between drugstore to high-end, it does not matter. My under eyes are so insanely sensitive, and I don't know why. I don't know what's the cause of it, and this concealer has worked for me as well as so many people. Everybody that I've put it on to has converted to this. Literally, I was in a bridal party and I showed them this concealer, And like 6 of the girls, by the time we got to the wedding, were literally like, yeah, I had to use it. Like I had to have it. I used it on the bride. I thought she looked amazing. So if you get the opportunity to try this, it's definitely worth it. And part of it is that the color match is amazing. So hopefully you can go in store, try the colors, and get committed to it. Tower 28 is a really good brand. They also have, you know, when I was talking about like translucent bronzers, they also have a really good bronzer, but I would say it's like really warm leaning. So I would recommend it for my warm tone girls instead of like me, I'm so cool toned. Oh yeah, and the color that I use today, this is the Serum Concealer CC. I hope that's the color for you, but yeah. Okay, let's get into the next steps. We're almost getting to final steps. This is where it gets more makeup-y. I feel like my base, I want people to think that my skin basically looks like this, which it's so undetectable. When I take my makeup off at the end of the night, people will be like, oh, did you take your makeup off? Once I come down with my skincare on, because 1, my skincare looks amazing and my skin's looking good, but 2, it's because the makeup is so undetectable throughout the day. They're like, maybe she just did it different type of thing. You see what I'm saying? It's totally different than like my 2015 makeup era. If you guys like fell deep into that and got to experience it, you know exactly what I mean. So I have a new mascara and a new eyeliner that I've been trying out, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how to use them yet. So unlike my other, all the products I showed you so far, these are all products that I would repurchase. And let's just go over those real quickly again. The Say Sun Glow Dew Bronze, or Dew Blush, Dew Bronze. They're Butter Bronze. Now I recommend getting one of the bronzers first and trying it out, depending on, like if you have fair skin, I would start with this one. If you have a little bit darker skin, I would start with this one. And if you're going to use that technique that I showed you, if you're not going to use that technique, I would always go with the Butter Bronzer if you're just going to put it like right here like most people do. Okay, obviously the concealer, I couldn't stop talking about it. And this glow product is not for everybody. If you have oily skin, I wouldn't get it. And if you just have oily cheekbones or you're not looking for like a highlight and color correct, I also think that it could be a little bit more like cool toned. If you're really cool toned and you're just looking for a highlighter, there's a lot of other ones you could get, not just this one. But if you are looking for like a blush highlighter, obviously this one. So let me show you the eyeliner that I have that I literally purchased this because it is more clean beauty leaning. And some people consider this clean beauty, like it's posted on like Credo website and like some of these websites that just in general carry cleaner beauty. But this is a waterproof eyeliner, and when I tell you I got this for the very first time and I swatched it on my hand like this, kind of just seeing like how thick the line is, and then like literally a minute later I went like this. Oh no, it's already happening. Look. And like it didn't budge at all. And the reason that I had to get this is because I have tried so many eyeliners and I just look so silly by the end of the day. So I was like, okay, I need something more for real. I love how skinny and tiny this is. Before I was using a bigger one and blending it out. So I think I just want to learn how to apply just like this teeny tiny little eyeliner and see how it looks on my face. So the problem is it's so tiny and I haven't had practice doing it, so I don't know how to make the shape right yet. So you're just gonna have to watch me struggle through it, but just know that once I have this down, it's over for you, like endgame. So I usually like to do a little line like on the outside of my eye. And I have like hooded eyes. They're not hooded like how some people think hooded eyes. They're like teeny tiny little hooded eyes. But definitely like right here where you'd apply your eyeliner is like a bunch of wrinkling where the skin is coming down, which is fine. I don't mind that, but you have to keep that in mind if you're gonna do like literally any sort of eyeliner. So my biggest hack is just to like apply a little and then like drag it out with my finger, and then it'll make like a little subtle line. Obviously like this one is so skinny, it's not like you have to drag it to make it like thin, but this is how I'm gonna start it. And then I'm gonna usually make like a little triangle and connect that. That didn't work. Okay, didn't look how I thought it was gonna look. With hooded eyes, sometimes it's just better to like keep your eyes open, and I think that's the case here. And also this one has less time for blending because it is gonna set down, whereas like a lot of the clean Beauty, like even I use the Tower 28, you know, I just raved about their concealer. I used their lip and eyeliner, and when I tell you that thing was so blendable, but it never set. So it was always blendable. Like if I would go like this in the middle of the day, I would have just wiped it right away. And you know, especially if you don't wear makeup often or eyeliner often, you like forget that you have it on, and then you're like smudging your eye around and then you look crazy. Whereas their concealer did not budge one bit and I would look just fine. Now this color is the Burgundy Brown. If you have blue eyes and you are not using brown mascara, brown eyeliner, browns, baby, you've been like, people are literally trying to con you into looking bad. I don't know how else to say it. Like, not everybody has your best interest at heart. Like, do not compare yourself to somebody with brown eyes and be like, I need to have black mascara. Like, just trust me on this. So this is their like burgundy brown, I think is. Okay, wait, can you see it? It's so subtle, but so perfect. I cannot tell you how much this is going to add to your face. You don't know it yet, but I know it, and I'm telling you about it. Okay, this is the mascara that I decided to try. I was between two. This Say brown mascara had really good reviews, and then this Well People Expressionist Lengthening Mascara in brown. Also had really good reviews, so I'm gonna try this one. I have been having a struggle lately that my eyelashes are not sitting how I want them to, and then when I apply the mascara, it like is too heavy. So I'm gonna use, this is the Tower 28 Make Waves concealer in the color brown, which is Drift. And it's out. It's completely gone. I can't do anything with it. But the way this separates my lashes makes them look so fluttery and so gorgeous. So sometimes when I'm trying a new mascara, I just use this to like separate my lashes to like their most optimal state. And I did like this concealer. I just was looking for something a little bit more clean and ideally affordable, although I think I'm switching, like if I do this Say, I think that one's more expensive. The Well People was more affordable. I feel like lately I've just been having this thing with my lashes where I don't think that they're like looking very good. So I have gone back to, here's the thing, I use this really, really good low-tox eyelash growth serum, and in the links I'll add it because it's that good. And then I just kind of stopped using it because I was like kind of running out and I didn't want to repurchase it. The problem is now I'm obsessed with how my eyelashes looked. Like, I physically cannot go back. I'm looking at them now and I'm like, okay, they are getting sparse in certain areas. And so I think that's part of the problem here. See, I feel like this is gonna help. So this Well People mascara, I got this, I saw that you can get it at Target, but I obviously got mine off of Amazon. So let's just go for it. And this is only like my second or third day trying this. I did wear it on a night out. We were dancing for like hours and hours and hours, you know, in the Florida humidity, and it did stay on. It had really good staying power. It did not smudge. I even slept in my makeup, which I never do, and it still hadn't smudged in the morning. So I'm going to try to apply it. I'm really going to try to give you guys like a good tutorial here on like how it's looking. These are my final results, but I really still am learning how to use the mascara. I do think that it is a good mascara. Just, you know, there's always that learning curve with getting something new where I feel like I never like one for the first month, and we're already on like the third or fourth day and I'm starting to like it more. It just is a little bit more work to apply it. Okay, it's been a few hours and I'm back. So I want to show you, one, how the product has been wearing, and then two, I have SOSHE Beauty lip liners that I want to try and I want to test. I got a bunch of different colors. Anything that I thought was cool toned went in the cart, and now we're going to test it out and I'm going to give you a review. We're gonna look at the colors, try to make my typical look. So I've never tried these products before. I saw people online talking about them, and that's what prompted me to test them out. And it was the color selection that really sent it there for me. I'm looking for a long wear lip product. My current lip product that I've been obsessed with, and I've repurchased it over and over and over, probably up to 10 times, is these CoverGirl lip stains. It's just a little marker lip stain. So it's like the shape of a marker, teeny tiny, easy to use. The things that I love about this is, one, the color. I have never had a color that just complements my face so well and that I feel like doesn't distract from the other elements of my face, like my eyes, or, you know, just the things that, I don't know, like the good parts of my face. And I want to just highlight the things of my face. Like, I want to highlight my lips, I want to highlight my teeth, I want to highlight my eyes. I don't want to really take away from that by adding too much color, unless if I'm going for a specific look that's just kind of like makes my lips the focal point one day or make my eyes look the focal point. So anyway, I saw these online, and definitely something that is concerning to me, and one of the reasons I haven't been able to commit to a low-tox product is the wearability. Like, what I love about these lip liners is I literally will apply this at like 8 a.m. and it will be on until 9 or 10 p.m. and I won't look at it one time and it will look perfect all day long. And if anything, I'll reapply a gloss, or if my lips are dry, I'll put on a gloss, or I'll gloss it before I go out in the evening with my friends, but I really don't ever have to reapply it. Every so often I will reapply if we're like gonna go out for a late a late night, like a long night, after I've already worn it all day long. Maybe I'll reapply like between dinner time or after and then go out. But other than that, I don't ever think about it. And as the color's fading, it never looks bad. So that's why I've been tried and true. This is a lip stain formula, which I also love because you can layer a gloss, but it doesn't transfer. I mean, there's so many perks to it. So converting to something more low tox was definitely a hard bargain for me, because that is what I'm looking for. So I'm like, can I find a color that's even cool toned and beautiful, and also is it going to be long wear? So I decided to just try the SOSHE Beauty ones first, just because of the colors that I'd seen online. I felt like, okay, we might be able to get my favorite lip combo in one of these colors. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch them all on my hands first, just to kind of see and maybe compare them to my favorite color combo, which is these CoverGirl lip stains. I'm hoping that this will also help you, so that if you have tried one of these colors, then you'll have an idea of what these look like, because on everybody's skin tone, colors come across so differently. They read totally differently. And then if I do wind up liking the colors and keeping them, then I will definitely give reviews over time of the wearability, like how long they last and all that. So I think I'm gonna go what I think is gonna be like darkest to lightest. This is what they look like. The SOSHE, so this is the SOSHE Beauty Soft Glide Lip Pencil, or lip liner. And this first one is in the color Mocha. You can see the color over here. This one is like a dark brown. And these are sharpening lip liners. They do not come with a sharpener. So that's the color, dark brown. They're creamy, they're gorgeous. I love this little, like, I don't know what this is, this packaging, but it is really pretty. Like, that's making me like it more. One of the things that I liked about SOSHE Beauty in general, like if you look on their website, they talk about all the things that their company stands behind, and it's more than just clean beauty. It's like cruelty-free, plastic neutral, or something like that. You really need to look for yourself. But next one I have here is the color Kisme. This is the color Kisme. This one is a brand new color, and I'm not gonna lie, I have really high hopes for this one. I was having a hard time being able to tell online if these were cool or warm toned, unless if it literally says like cool toned. This is the color Speak Easy, and this is described as a dusty mauve. Very similar, but still different. Okay, and this is the color Skinny Dip, and this is described as a cool nude. I'm gonna do my favorite lip stains on both sides so that we could see the color comparison. Keep in mind that these are like new, so they're full pigment. So this is the color Admire, and I love this color. And this is the color Brazen Raisin. Okay, so when I look at this, I think that Brazen Raisin is the closest to Kisme, so I'm gonna do a lip liner in Kisme and see just how we feel about it. So Kisme is described as a brown berry, which is exactly the color that I like for a lip liner. A brown berry that just like kind of blends in. I don't want it to be too bright, I don't want it to be too brown, just a brown berry. Me personally, I think I look best in like a two-dimensional lip rather than like a one-dimensional lip. I don't know, I just never have really found a color that I was like, yeah, like I want my whole lip that shade, and then it gives my lip like the dimension and the attention that I think it needs. One thing about lip stains is they're super hard to blend, but I've been using them for so long, I'm like low-key a professional at it at this point. Let me see what kind of situations I have for like a lip brush that I can blend this with. While I was away, also I started thinking I really should have two separate brushes for my under eye highlight and my under eye concealer, so I'm also gonna kind of be looking for one of those. Okay, for lip brush options, I have like this little fine fluffy one. That one might be too fluffy. I have like a genuine lip blush brush. I think this would work, but I'm seeing this one, and this is like one of the most versatile brushes. I'm always finding a reason to use it. I don't know how, but this brush was a tried and true in my kit for the longest time. This is what I used to use to blend out my brown eyeliner. I really think these are a good brush, and so I'm considering this. I just think the lip liner brush is going to be a little too harsh. And the other kind of brush that I'm really considering, hold on, let me find it. Where are they? You probably have had one of these. These come in like a white hair and a black hair. I used to have one of both, but these little like, this is more of like a pointed thin brush. I think this would be really good. So let's try just this one because it's got the flat, sorry, me trying to describe this to you. It's got like this flat edge. I'm gonna try that because I just feel like it needs diffused. Yeah, I was definitely trying to overline my lips, and I feel like that is not working as well as it usually does. Like, it's kind of showing the line. Okay, unless if my eyes deceive me, I think this is like, for me, the perfect brown pink liner shade. Like, oh, I'm genuinely obsessed with this. Oh, I'm so obsessed. I'm literally so obsessed. Go in with the color Speak Easy and like blend in the inside of the lip. I don't like that. That's the Dusty Mauve, and I don't like what that color is doing for it. Okay, let's try the color Skinny Dip. Just for giggles, let's do like the brown with this and see if it makes me like it more. I think it's pretty, but I just really think it looks like makeup, which is not what I'm going for. Also, if you're looking for a makeup wipe recommendation, I like these ones. They're the Honest makeup wipes. You can get them at Target, you can get them on Amazon. They're just a makeup wipe. They're not like the craziest makeup wipe you've ever seen. You know, mascara is still really tough to get off with them, but in general, they do get stuff off. Okay, so as of right now, I am not loving the colors that I just got from SOSHE Beauty. Like, I'm not going to be able to create my favorite lip combo with just those, but this Kiss Me color has got to stay. Upon further research, I realized if I would have ordered the SOSHE Beauty colors from Credo, I could have tried a couple of brands that were on my list to try. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is create another order and then just go from there. But things that were on my list to try from Credo Beauty as far as lips go, so this might be in an upcoming video, would be the RMS lip liners. My sister uses those, and those are promoted as much more of like a long wear lip liner, so I definitely want to see. I'm one of those people, like, no lip color stays on my lip. But between my sister and I, she could put a color on, and I swear, like, she could wake up with it on the next day, and it could be any formula, like a lip stain, a lip liner, lipstick, it stays on her lips. My lips, for some reason, not like that at all. So it's definitely important to me that these are long wear, and they long wear on my lips. And then there's also this one called Finding Ferdinand, and I'm very, very interested in that one as well. So I think I'm going to put some colors together and see what I can find. And now I'm going to be searching the web because I feel like I'm still on the hunt for my inner color. But in the meantime, I do have this color from RMS, Passion Lane, in this like lipstick formula. It doesn't say what kind of formula it is on here, but I really love this. And even sometimes, like, I will layer this with my favorite lip combo because it's very, very similar, just a different formula. So I'm going to try that in the center just to see how it wears with this lip liner. Ooh, it's pretty. It's pretty, but it's not blended. All right, I'm planning that in a week. I'll probably do a follow-up video, maybe 2 weeks, because then I might have more colors. But I will give a review about the long wear and longevity of the lip liner, and then I will also be doing a follow-up looking for more colors when I get in my second order. So hopefully we can find, fingers crossed, our favorite mascara and our favorite lip liner. And I even saw another bronzer that I don't think I can resist. So if it's available online, I might just like add that to cart with my Credo Beauty order. So yeah, stay tuned and I'll be back to review those. So I also tried, this is the Speak Easy color, just as a lip liner. I did a little bit of lip gloss. Obviously my favorite, if you've watched any of my videos, you know it's this topical Slick Salve. I put that over the top because my lips were getting quite dry after trying all the colors like 10 times. I might even add pictures for you guys of some the colors tried on as lip liners, because I think just a lip liner looks best on me, but I don't know, it's just so hard to tell, you know. It's hard to commit to one color. It's like, if I was going to keep all the colors, but then what color am I going to use? I need to know these things, you know. And then because the lip gloss kind of caused it to be an all over one color, I added just a little bit of Kisme, which is honestly barely even showing up, because once you put the gloss on, it's really hard to get the pigment to stay. But this is how it's looking, and I'm gonna just wear it, and like I said, in a couple weeks I will show you and give a full review on if I actually like the wear of these products, how long they last, and if I'm gonna continue to use them. Okay, that's the whole makeup tutorial. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and hopefully I'll see you next week.